You ever have one of those mornings where the universe decides to mess with you for sport? Yeah, that was Mebberly awake, answering my door at 8 on a Saturday, expecting maybe a package or the neighbor's cat stuck in a tree again. Instead, standing on my porch like she owned the place, was this woman blonde highlights, stiff blazer, that haircut you've seen in every meme. And I swear, the way she hugged that clipboard, you'd think it held nuclear launch codes. Before I can mumble a good morning, she's already giving me that once-over, lips curled like I tracked in mud. "You don't belong here," she snaps, not even pretending to be polite, her eyes drilling into me like I'm some sort of imposter. She wraps her pen on the clipboard, bam, 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 making it crystal clear who she thinks is in charge. This is a respectable neighborhood with standards. Proof of ownership. Now, let me back up a sec. I'm Jason. I'm 26, and I just bought my first house cash. Not that it matters to her. I'm still in pajama pants, and my brain stuck somewhere between, is this a prank? And do I still have bedhead? But she doesn't care. She just thrusts a piece of paper at me, like she's handing out parking tickets. "I'm Karen Wilson, president of the Meadowbrook Estates HOA. You're too young to own property. Here our covenants are very clear about the kind of people we want." Now, you'd think this was a misunderstanding, maybe a weird HOA orientation gone wrong. But Nosh got this look like she's doing me a favor, and she's already filed eviction paperwork. 30 days to vacate before we take legal action, she says, her voice all syrupy with self-importance. I stare at the paper, trying to remember if I've woken up yet, but nope, this is real. And then, the kicker, she leans in, lowers her voice. "Next time, do your research before squatting in someone else's neighborhood." Like I'm some con artist who wandered in off the street. What she doesn't know, what she could never guess, is that not only do I own this housino mortgage, no payments, no drama, I bought it with every penny I'd been hoarding since college. 4 years living with my parents, saving every dime from a remote software job, driving a car with more duct tape than paint, so yeah. When this place hit the market, I jumped. The seller's family wanted a fast deal, and I was ready. Keys in hand, deed in my name, dream realized, or so I thought. Except now, all I get from my new neighbors are sideways looks and whispers, and every time I glance out the window, there's Karen across the street, snapping photos like I'm a local wildlife. The passive-aggressive notes start 3 days after I move in. Garbage cans visible from street violation. Except they aren't. Lawn needs immediate attention. I mowed it yesterday. Every day, it's something holiday decorations. I never put up parking violations for a car that never leaves my garage. Karen's white SUV cruises by, her phone up, eyes scanning for any excuse. And then get this, she starts telling the neighbors I must be running some illegal operation. How else could someone like him afford that house? I overhear her telling old Mr. Douglas and his wife as they walk their schnauzer past my driveway. He's probably selling drugs, or gambling, or who knows what. I've already called the authorities. You know what I mean? At this point, it's almost comical, except it's my life she's trying to ruin. A week later, a fat manila envelope shows up in my mailbox, official looking, but totally bogus. Notice of non-compliance. Meadowbrook Estates is a 55-plus community. You have 30 days to vacate. I nearly choke. I read every document before buying. There is no age restriction. This isn't a retirement village, just your standard slice of suburbia. So I call my real estate attorney, laughs, tells me Karen's bluffing, says, "Document everything, Jason. If she pushes this, it's harassment. Maybe even fraud." So I do what any millennial would. I install security cameras, save every note, and brace for round 2. And sure enough, 3 days later, Karen marches up my walk with 2 other HOA board members in tow. I recognize once my neighbor seems decent, but now she's caught in the crossfire. "Compliance inspection," Karen declares, all business, like she's starring in her own reality show, and tries to shoulder past me into my foyer. Not happening. I plant myself in the doorway. "You need an appointment and written authorization for that." Karen's face goes red. She's not used to being challenged. "As HOA president, you have the right to enforce real bylaws, Karen, through proper channels. What you don't have is the right to enter my home or invent rules that don't exist." I pull up the HOA documents on my phone, hand it to her. Show me the age restriction. The neighbor glances at Karen. I've lived here 15 years, Karen. There's no age restriction. Karen's nostrils flare. New amendment passed last month. Amendments require a 2/3 vote from homeowners. I never got a ballot. Did you? I asked the others. Silence. That's what I thought. Now, I need you all to leave my property. Any future communication, put it in writing. Stick to the actual rules. Oh, and this whole conversation? Recorded. Karen storms off, her loyal sidekicks looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. As she leaves, I catch her hissing, "This isn't over." She's right, but not the way she hopes. Next morning, there's an official county eviction notice taped to my door. My stomach sinks, but when I look closer, something feels off. I call the county clerk. Turns out the notice is a forgery. Filed under Karen's name, complete with fake credentials. Now we're talking criminal territory. The clerk loops in the prosecutor's office. This is serious business. I gather every shred of evidence. Fake violations, security footage of Karen trespassing, forged documents, emails from other neighbors describing similar harassment. The prosecutor is all over it. Impersonating a public official and filing false legal documents? Big deal. Within days, they're investigating, and what they find, let's just say, it's a bigger can of worms than anyone expected. Turns out Karen's been running the HOA like her personal dictatorship for years. Fake rules, made-up fines, siphoning off HOA funds for personal expenses. Board meetings never actually happened. Minutes were faked, people bullied into compliance. The cops get a warrant, raid her home office folders on every resident, forged documents, templates for legal threats, even fake financial reports. 2 weeks after my call, I'm working from home and see police cars outside the HOA office. I look out just in time to watch them lead Karen out in handcuffs, face twisted with rage, neighbors peeking from behind curtains. "This is ridiculous," she's shouting, trying to keep her dignity as they march her down the walk. "I was protecting you from outsiders and freeloaders. Just wait when property values drop. Don't come crying to me." Not a soul steps up to defend her. Instead, there's this hush then, from one porch, slow applause. A couple others join in. Karen's legacy, right there. She's charged with fraud, forgery, impersonating an official, harassment, embezzlement. The judge sets her bail at $50,000. She can't pay it because her fabulous lifestyle was all smoke and mirrors. At the next HOA meeting, the tension's gone. Neighbors come up, apologize for not standing up sooner, thank me for not backing down. The interim president, a retired judge, even asked me to join the board to help fix the rules, make sure nothing like this happens again. "You pay attention to details, Jason. We need someone like you." Just when I think the story's over, the judge leans over. "That house you bought? Karen tried to buy it years ago, got denied, never let it go. Suddenly it clicks her whole crusade was just jealousy, pure and simple. Karen ends up sentenced to 18 months and has to pay back $50,000 to the HOA. When the verdict is read, her mask finally crumbles. "This is absurd. I was just maintaining standards," she wails, hauled away for contempt, still insisting she's the victim. But here's the thing, neighborhoods aren't built on fear or one person's petty grudge. They're built on people watching out for each other, on trust, on standing up to bullies, even if they come armed with a clipboard and a title. So, what would you do if Karen came for you? Would you fight back, or just hope she moved on to the next target? Tell me you hat's your line when it comes to standing up for yourself, for your community. Let's hear it.